Welcome to our show, Hong Kong Brief. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we have an exciting lineup of news stories that you won't want to miss. First up, art enthusiasts will be thrilled to learn about 4 captivating exhibitions opening this March, showcasing a variety of talented artists and their unique themes. From the introspective pieces of Soonik Kwon to the vibrant works of Walasse Ting, there's something for everyone to enjoy. In economic news, Asian markets are feeling the heat as a global sell-off continues, following concerns about tariffs and consumer spending. With significant declines in major indices, investors are on edge, reflecting the uncertainty in the market. Hong Kong stocks are not immune to this trend, experiencing a decline for the third consecutive day amid fears of rising trade tensions and potential recession risks. Lastly, we delve into the impact of President Trump's remarks on the U.S. stock market, which has suffered a staggering loss of over $1.7 trillion. As the situation unfolds, analysts are keeping a close eye on potential policy adjustments and their implications for the global economy. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage on these stories. South China Morning Post. This March, art enthusiasts are in for a treat with 4 unmissable exhibitions that delve into profound themes of existence and beauty. Serenity showcases the collaborative works of Soonik Kwon, Masayuki Tsuboda, and the duo Li Wei and Lu Jin, inviting viewers to reflect on time and nature through a blend of mixed media and elegant sculptures. Meanwhile, Yam Shalev's solo exhibition Between Times captures fleeting moments of daily life, urging audiences to appreciate the subtleties often overlooked. The vibrant career of Walasse Ting is celebrated in Joy, Temptation, and Magic, where his evolution from abstract expressionism to colorful depictions of life is on full display. Lastly, Chiyu Yumi's Cosmology offers a contemplative journey through decades of artistic exploration, revealing how repetitive gestures can transform into deep reflections on existence. New York Times. Global markets are experiencing turbulence as fears of an economic downturn take hold. Following a significant drop in the S&P 500, Asian markets mirrored this sentiment, with Japan's Nikkei 225 index plummeting by about 2%. Investors are grappling with uncertainty stemming from fluctuating tariff policies and signs of reduced consumer spending. While Chinese markets showed slight resilience, the overall atmosphere remains cautious as concerns about inflation and economic health loom large. The ongoing sell-off reflects a growing anxiety among investors who have long suspected that the markets may be overvalued, leading to a climate of fear and speculation. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong's stock market continues to slide, reflecting broader trends across Asian markets as recession fears intensify. The Hang Seng Index dropped 1.1%, adding to previous losses, as rising global trade tensions threaten economic stability. Major tech stocks faced significant declines, with Alibaba and Tencent among the notable losers, while the Nasdaq in the U.S. experienced a dramatic drop, erasing over $1 trillion in value. Amidst this turmoil, gains in the auto sector provided a glimmer of hope, but analysts warned that the economic landscape could worsen, leading to further market adjustments. As new stocks debut on the exchange, the overall sentiment remains cautious, with experts predicting a potential economic slowdown ahead. Al Jazeera reports a significant downturn in the U.S. stock market, which has lost over $1.7 trillion in value following President Donald Trump's ambiguous comments on the potential for a recession this year. The S&P 500 index fell by 2.7%, marking its lowest point since September, while the Nasdaq 100 experienced its sharpest decline since September 2022, plummeting by 3.81%. Notably, Tesla faced a staggering 15.43% drop in its stock price. This market turmoil is attributed to Trump's erratic tariff policies, which have left investors anxious about the economy's future. As Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan Chase raise their recession probabilities, market sentiment reflects a deepening uncertainty, with traders describing the situation as a bloodbath. CNN highlights the dire consequences of cuts to U.S. foreign aid on efforts to combat human trafficking, particularly in Southeast Asia. The story of Jalil Muik, an Ugandan man who was trafficked to a scam compound in Myanmar, underscores the grim reality faced by many victims. With over 220,000 individuals estimated to be trapped in similar situations, the termination of USAID funding for counter-trafficking programs has left NGOs like Global Alms struggling to support victims. The lack of resources has resulted in a standstill for many organizations, exacerbating the crisis as victims endure horrific conditions. As the U.S. government re-evaluates its foreign assistance, the implications of these cuts are severe, putting countless lives at risk and leaving those seeking help without crucial support. South China Morning Post examines China's ambitious goal of achieving a 5% GDP growth target amidst economic challenges. Despite successfully meeting similar targets in previous years, concerns linger over the sustainability of growth, particularly in light of weak domestic consumption, which accounted for only 44.5% of GDP growth last year. The report notes that while household savings have surged, leading to a significant increase in bank deposits, consumer spending remains tepid. To stimulate growth, China must shift its economic model from reliance on exports and investments to fostering private consumption. With the potential for households to unleash trillions in spending if confidence is restored, the report suggests that a change in public expectations and bold economic stimulus could pave the way for achieving higher growth rates. South China Morning Post reports that the Newport Theatre in Hong Kong's bustling Mong Kok will shut its doors on April 1 after 2 decades of service to film enthusiasts. This decision follows a trend of cinema closures in the city, including the Newport Circuit's President Theatre last year. The theatre, known for its 2 screens and 403 seats, has been a cherished venue since its founding in 1988, originally aiming to compete with the major cinema chains in the city. As the Newport Theatre prepares for its final screening on March 31, the company expressed heartfelt gratitude to its loyal patrons, reminiscing about the cherished moments created within its walls. With the Newport Theatre's closure, only the Highland Theatre in Tuen Mun will remain operational, highlighting the ongoing struggles faced by cinemas in Hong Kong. In another piece from South China Morning Post, French Consul General Christile Drolh emphasizes the potential for collaboration between France and Hong Kong in the realm of artificial intelligence, AI. Drolh believes that as Hong Kong shifts its focus back to economic growth, it can attract talent and businesses, particularly in the AI sector, which has been highlighted by recent investments from both the Hong Kong government and French President Emmanuel Macron. The establishment of the Hong Kong AI Research and Development Institute is seen as a promising step towards fostering synergies with French research organizations. Drolh advocates for increased exchanges between the two regions to better understand and leverage the opportunities available, particularly in technology, gastronomy, and luxury goods, while also urging Hong Kong to improve its international image to attract more French nationals and businesses. Lastly, the South China Morning Post highlights a surge in Hong Kong rents, which have reached a 5.5-year high as demand rebounds following the holiday season. According to Centaline Property Agency, the Centicity Rental Index rose by 0.46% month-on-month in February, signaling a recovery in market sentiment after a traditional slowdown. The report indicates that strong housing demand, coupled with a shortage of rental listings, is likely to continue pushing rents higher. However, the overall property market still grapples with challenges, including high interest rates and economic uncertainty, which have led to significant declines in property values over the past year. In response, financial authorities have implemented measures to support the struggling sector, including adjustments to stamp duty rates for mass-market homes, as the market awaits potential interest rate cuts to stimulate recovery. South China Morning Post reports on the tragic passing of Prince Frederick of Luxembourg, who succumbed to POLG mitochondrial disease at the young age of 22. His family, including siblings Princess Charlotte and Prince Alexander, expressed their heartbreak through a poignant announcement. Prince Robert, their father, shared that Frederick found the strength to say goodbye to each family member in a touching final moment. The POLG Foundation, which Frederick founded to raise awareness about the rare disease, will continue its mission through his siblings, who are committed to honoring his legacy. In a surprising turn of events, the South China Morning Post highlights how former President Donald Trump is taking a softer approach towards China in his anticipated second administration. Instead of the aggressive tactics that marked his first term, Trump seems to be leaning towards a more pragmatic strategy, influenced by tech moguls like Elon Musk and Jensen Huang. Their experiences with the Chinese market have led Trump to reconsider his previous hawkish stance, signaling a potential shift towards cooperation rather than confrontation, as he seeks a more balanced trade relationship with the world's second-largest economy. William Hung, once an American Idol contestant known for his infamous rendition of She Bangs, has transformed his life since those early days of fame, as detailed by the South China Morning Post. After a rocky start to his career, he managed to carve out a niche for himself, even releasing an album that sold 200,000 copies. However, Hung faced personal challenges, including a gambling addiction that impacted his previous marriages. Now happily married to Hannah Du, he has shifted his focus from entertainment to a career as a crime analyst with the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, where he has found fulfillment while still maintaining a connection to his musical roots. South China Morning Post highlights the enduring romance between actress Catherine O'Hara and production designer Bo Welch, who have been together for over 3 decades. Their love story began in a charmingly nostalgic manner, reminiscent of high school crushes, as O'Hara recounted her excitement over Welch's attention during the filming of Beetlejuice. Welch, a talented production designer known for his work on iconic films like Men in Black and The Color Purple, initially pursued architecture before transitioning to the film industry. His journey into production design was sparked by dissatisfaction with traditional architecture, leading to his collaboration with director Tim Burton and eventually to his relationship with O'Hara, whom he married in 1992. In a thought-provoking opinion piece from the SCMP, the recent sale of CK Hutchison Holdings' control over Panama ports is examined in the context of rising geopolitical tensions. The decision, framed as a commercial move, follows unfounded claims by former President Donald Trump that China controls the Panama Canal, which has led to increased scrutiny and pressure on Chinese businesses. Analysts warn that such actions create an atmosphere of uncertainty for international investments, as Hutchison's divestment reflects a broader trend of companies reassessing their exposure to geopolitical risks. The article emphasizes the unfortunate reality that legitimate business operations are being compromised due to political intimidation, raising concerns about the future of global commerce. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation delves into the resurgence of the White Skull Squad in South Korea, a term that evokes a dark history of political repression. This new iteration consists of young activists espousing far-right views, drawing inspiration from the MAGA movement and conspiracy theories. As political turmoil unfolds, particularly surrounding President Yoon Suk-yeol's controversial actions and impeachment trial, the group claims to protect democracy from perceived anti-state forces. The article illustrates the alarming parallels between past and present, as the squad's members, primarily in their 20s and 30s, echo sentiments of earlier eras of violence and oppression. The piece raises concerns about the implications of such movements on the country's democratic fabric and the potential for increased political violence in the coming months. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6 Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6 team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6 Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6 Brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spit, walls come down. Voices merge into sound, faces mix in the crowd. Broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen. Every link a different theme, words collide in the stream. 6 degrees connect the dots, background stories hold the nuts. Hear the voices rise aloft, truth unveils in every spot. Cultures clash across the globe, spin the threads in a stroke. Every story wears a robe, truth and lies in their code. Journalistic real deep, secrets that they don't see. Every angle they will keep, in the news we take a lead. New perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way. Introspective day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way.
Cultures, I go, what really or do not, what enough to be you, everything and ever, what enough and after, what enough and after, what enough and 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 enough.